Islay whiskey by itself is rather too powerful for most people, though some people do like it.
For years I have wandered this isle, searching, seeking any trace of what once was. From the cross of Kildalton to the white sand beaches of Macker Bay, it has eluded me. Just when all hope was lost, a vision. A lighthouse off in the distance, beckoning me. And just beyond that, whispers of what is now extinct. Remnants from decades past. Could this be it?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bytes Whiskey Reviews with a gaming twist. I want to welcome my amazing friend Aaron, who created that trailer y'all all just saw. That was the most, I literally felt a tear going on as I watched that. That was so great. So, like I said, he put together this amazing tasting. He actually put it together for our local group, but he was kind enough to share it here for the channel, and we're going to do a blind flight trying to find the Port Ellen. So, Aaron, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, no, I have a lot of fun just, putting that together, putting together this tasting. I think this is going to be, really eye-opening, interesting flight.
I'm excited. I know I'm going to do so badly because you basically know my entire experience with Scotch because you are basically my go-to Scotch guy. Because every time,
although to be fair, on a couple months ago, you and we did a tour of all the Islay distilleries, so you do have some experience in this. I had never tried a Port Ellen before this either, so
okay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have a Port Ellen in my glass here. Not exactly, but almost. Almost. I have a big peat release from Douglas and Lang, which includes Ardbeg, Kalila, Bowmore, and Port Ellen.
Well, there you go.
So I've had some Port Ellen before. I'm totally gonna nail this flight, obviously.
Exactly.
But yeah, no. So tell us, for people like me that don't really know much about Port Ellen, tell us a bit about why it has this kind of legendary status. What's the deal with Port Ellen?
Yeah, so Port Ellen is basically it's an Islay distillery. It's kind of famous for the fact that it was shut down in the early '80s, just like with the U.S. Whiskey in the '80s just was not a thing that people bought really, and so as a result, it just took a big dive, and so a lot of distilleries in Scotland as well got shut down at the time, and Port Ellen was one of them. It got shut down in 1983. And just kind of developed this. It was already well known at its time, but kind of developed this reputation of just being really incredible, different from anything else. It just has this legendary reputation. And so bottles of this official bottlings that Diageo releases now go for thousands of dollars. What we're tasting today, one of them is an independent release, so not quite as much, but it's still around the $1,000 mark for that.
Yeah. Do you want to show a quick teaser of the bottle? Don't get too close, so I can't read the info on it. But if you have the bottle in front, if you want to or you don't, okay. Okay.
I'll show you the box.
Okay, there we go. Good enough.
There we go. There's the box.
All right. So it's Provenance is the bottler.
Provenance, so it's an independent bottling. I want to show you the actual bottle because I don't want to, get any hints from the color of the.
You're smart, yeah. So I asked him earlier. I was like, "Oh, can you send me a picture of the bottle so I can post it on Instagram?" And he sends me a censored photo with all the info. I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even think about the fact that showing me the proof and stuff is going to probably help me out." So
yeah, exactly. I don't want to give you any advantages because I know that you're very in tune with what you're tasting tonight. So.
Well, I appreciate that. So we are trying 6 different pours. They're completely blind to me. One of them
we're doing 5. The 6th one is the tasting sheet is a little bit off, but
okay.
Yeah, there's a bonus one that we'll be having at the end, which I'll explain when we get there.
Gotcha.
But, so all these are Islay distilleries. Only one of these is a Port Ellen, and basically just trying to figure out which one that is.
Yeah, I know I'm not gonna nail it, but I'm very curious. Like as we go through these, like I'm glad that you're able to taste them along with me, kind of maybe see if I'm on the right track with certain notes, because I imagine there's a good variety of different Islay distilleries here tonight. And I think you said one of these wasn't even or Scottish, right?
No. Everything here is.
Maybe
Scottish.
I'm getting confused with the previous tasting you did. I think
we did another Find the Islay tasting that I did. And, only one of them was an Islay. This time everything is Islay, and only one of them is Port Ellen. But they're all different distilleries, all from Islay.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Just getting caught up in the chat here. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to our amazing mods here. I see Emily Chambers, I see the Linux Cat, and some amazing patrons in the chat as well. Zopher1920. What's up, Zopher? Whiskey Mountains, go check out her channel. But I'm also seeing a couple new faces. I see Nurse Dave's Shaving World. He says this was a great tasting. Well, I imagine he was on the actual tasting with you guys. So I assume he's someone that you know, maybe. But I see Swan. What's up, Swan? Good to see you, man. I also see some Byte Club members, which if y'all don't know, that's my new. I need to have that sound effect to go with this. I don't have a sound effect on StreamYard, but so that's my new YouTube membership. If you guys are curious into getting special emojis, private gaming sessions with me, you can join with the join button right down below. Sugar Kitty is here in the chat. I think Sugar Kitty's the only one here that's a Byte Club member, but y'all are all welcome to join. If y'all join tonight, y'all will get a special shout out tonight. But anyways, so like I said, I'm drinking this Big Pete. I want to do a Douglas Lang tasting soon. Have you had much stuff from them, Aaron?
Not as far as like their own blends and that sort of thing. I haven't tried Big Pete, but I've heard like really good things about it, especially like the Christmas edition, which I think is cask strength.
Yes. So actually, I didn't realize this wasn't cask strength until I poured it when we were talking about proof a minute earlier. So I actually have 4 different releases from them. So 3 of them are the Big Petes. One is the Christmas edition. Mm-hmm. One is this one, which is the basic one, which isn't cask strength. Unfortunately, I kind of hoped it was. And then I have a Prohibition edition. So I really think for $50 a bottle, I mean, it's such a cool, it's a blend, yes, which I know is like kind of not.
There's a lot of really good Scotch blends. I mean, Compass Box, for instance, all their stuff is blend.
Yeah. So, but I think for $50, I would love to. I need to reach out to them and see if they'd be interested in joining me for a stream, because I already own 4. I have 4 of their bottles, so I'm like, they don't have to even send me anything. They can just come on the stream.
Yeah. Although that's probably good that one's not cask strength, since everything here is below 50% ABV. To just give you a little bit of an idea. So, nothing above 100 proof.
That worked out really well, because if I would have started with a cask strength, that would have been a bad idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour all 5. Yes, you're right. I miscounted. I just looked at the chart.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pour all 5 of these. I'm going to cover them up with challenge coins, including my Bourbon Bites challenge coin, which you can get Venmo $20 to @BourbonBites. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get these all poured. But yeah, so can you give us any teasers to what like some of these others may be? Like, are they similar in age? Are they like? I assume they're similar in proof, probably.
Yeah, like I said, everything's below 50%. So between 40 and 50%. They're all, I'd say like they're all older. They're all from Islay. They're all peated. They're all peated. That's for sure. So yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if you're able to, you do have like a little bit of experience with some Islay distilleries now. So it'd be interesting to see if you're able to pick up any distillery characteristics.
Maybe, yeah. I need to keep track of my guesses, because like I want to, even if I don't nail which one's the Port Ellen, I would like to be like, oh, I knew that was Lafroig or something. That would be really cool to do. So I need to keep track of my guesses. Sugar Kitty says, remember to lick the like and like the lick. It tastes like Port Ellen. Well, there you go. Just all you gotta do is hit that like button, and you get a little taste of that $1,000 whiskey in your mouth. Eric Black says, I brought back a Port Ellen from Scotland back in 1998. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Which, by the way, this one was bottled in 2008. So this is actually like a little bit of an older, like little older bottling, comparatively as well.
Gotcha. So sorry, I should have poured these ahead of time. I was telling Aaron, I was like finishing dinner really quick. That's the fastest I've ever ate a bowl of chili in my life. So hopefully I don't regret it in about 15 minutes. We'll see. We're also doing our monthly Patreon hangout tonight. So if you are a patron at the $5 tier or more, you are welcome to join us over on our Discord channel, which you can join at bourbonbites.com. So I'll put the info down below. It's on our Whiskey and Gaming Lounge. But yeah, that should be a lot of fun. We always do these once a month, and they're always tons of fun. There's always a great turnout. So hope to see you guys there. And Aaron's a patron too. So Aaron, you're welcome to stick around and join us for that.
Oh yeah.
All right. 2 more to pour. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. All right, so it's A, B, C, D, and E, which are my options. I'm going to taste through them, of course, first. Probably give my first impressions, and then I'm going to try to, in addition to trying to figure out which one is the Port Ellen, I'm also going to try to figure out which one's my favorite, because it doesn't have to be my favorite. Wow, this
absolutely. No, that's I think what's the most interesting thing, to see if like, what is your favorite matches up with what actually is the Port Ellen.
Gotcha. Now, like you said, pricing wise, I mean, these are probably pretty varied. There's probably some decently affordable. I mean, I know you always like spoil us. You always give us a bit.
This one, this might not be the most accessible tasting.
I was gonna say, you always spoil us, man, and I appreciate it so much. I mean, you put together these. I mean, y'all can take a look at these sample bottles. I mean, he really goes all out. I mean, do you plan to expand this and do this more to like a larger group than like our small friend group?
This is I kind of went all out on this one, especially, was trying to go out with a bang, just since everybody's kind of being vaccinated now and all that. I'm like hoping that, pretty soon we'll all be able to start, locally being able to do, some meetups again.
Right.
So yeah, this, kind of started, this is the 5th one that we've done, or that I've done. And so, kind of started out of like the whole pandemic thing.
Well, they've all been great. I think you should, maybe not virtual, but you should definitely stick with these amazing. I mean, you pair the most amazing whiskeys. You let us try some incredible things. So thank you for that. I wish I had like a group I could shout out, like go follow this page on Facebook. Do you have, I mean, you have an Instagram or something. Where can people find you on Instagram?
It's private and stuff, but
well, never mind. Skip that. Well, anyways, if you ever want to expand it, please let me know. I'd love to have you on the show to help promote whatever you plan to do with it. So, but yes, let me have one last sip of my already existing Port Ellen here to see if I can really.
Probably 2% of Port Ellen.
Mm-hmm. It's $50. It can't be much. Well, they even say on the back. So now this isn't a knock on this. This is a $50 whiskey. I'm not complaining at all. But it does say Kalila gives it an element of sweetness. Balmore gives it a maritime character. Ardbeg, an earthy, gristly quality, and Port Ellen, a certain leathery elegance. So maybe if I pull out some leather notes, maybe that's the Port Ellen. We'll see. We'll find out. All right. Well, I guess I'm ready to start with glass A. You have them all poured as well, correct?
I have them all poured.
Cool. Let me go ahead and put my challenge coins on my other glasses so they don't, open up too much. All right. Now, color-wise, I will say these are all very close except B. B is a good bit darker than everything else. Mm-hmm. But A, C, and D. A, C, D, and E are all pretty similar color. Not the color really, I mean, with Scotch especially, color doesn't necessarily mean everything.
It could be whatever.
Oh, wow. This is very light on the nose. I mean, I guess I need to put myself in the mindset. These are not going to be what I'm used to with the cast and stuff. Wow. Fruity. I think it's very fruit forward. Mm-hmm. Like a pineapple.
Yeah, definitely a lot of like light fruits. I get a little bit of pear as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say pear. Definitely like the tropical side of things, not like the darker like cherry or like things like that. It's definitely light. Yeah. Wow, it smells really nice in the nose. Let's go ahead and try it. Cheers, man. Thank you for joining me. Very light. Very light. Hold on. Okay.
A little stringent.
To me, I don't want to say anything bad because I'm scared it's going to be really expensive. It is a good flavor. I feel like someone just dumped a gallon of water in this just because. I don't know. To me, it tastes like it's intentionally watered down, like a lot.
Mm-hmm. It does have like a nice like waxiness to it for me.
That was my first sip. I got to go back to it for a second sip.
Yeah.
If that's anything above 80 proof, I will be very shocked.
It's a very short finish. It does have like a nice waxiness to it for me.
I will say second sip flavor wise, I think it's sticking out. Even though the finish is somewhat short, it is sticking around on my palate for a while. And it's a really nice flavor. I think it's really a little floral, I would say. It's kind of goes floral. Not like, I mean, it's definitely got some age on it. You don't see any of the graininess at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one to start with. I just feel like I guess I'm a bit of a proof for it, as you know.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I will say that the way that these are kind of set up are, sort of like with ABV, like going lowest to highest. So yeah,
Gotcha.
this definitely is a lower ABV. But yeah, I mean, going back for a second, I will say that like I really hope that you do whatever the Port Ellen is. I mean, I hope that you enjoy all of these, but like
Yeah.
if you do have some strong opinions about the Port Ellen, that would make me very happy. For instance, the first tasting that I put together for us was a sherry and wine finished and matured tasting, and the oddball that I threw in there was a Redbreast 27, which you, along with everybody,
I'm sorry.
was just like, oh my god, what is this? Tastes like sweaty cabbage. And when I revealed what that was the one $500 bottle.
We all were. I swear there was a moment where we were just all completely silent. We were like,
yeah,
did we just hear you right? Excuse, like what? But to our defense, it was a Scotch flight. So like throwing in an Irish definitely.
Yeah, that did mix it up a little bit. Yeah.
Nurse Dave's Shaving World says the big winner is when your favorite isn't the most expensive. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So Aaron, you and I went to one of the last in-person tastings we did. It was I think it was like a West Hollywood area we went to, and we tried a bunch of different
mallet.
Yeah. So we tried a bunch of different ones. And I think that there was like the only theme was there was like I don't even remember the theme. It was a blind one for sure.
It was a Valencia mallet tasting, like the independent bottler.
That's what it was. And to me, it was blind because I knew nothing about it. So maybe it wasn't actually blind. But the one that actually ended up being my favorite was only like $60. And I bought two of them.
Yeah.
So,
same.
Yeah. So
there are a few like tastings I've done, virtual tastings I've done during this that like, the couple that I've tried, like there's that Delwayne 12-year-old. I think that we also,
you know what? That's probably what I'm thinking of because that's the one I bought two of.
Yeah. That one was, fantastic.
That was,
that one was
Lang?
Yeah.
Is it Douglas and Lang that does that? It's Old Particular, which is K&L's independent bottler. But I'm pretty sure
Douglas Lang or Hunter Lang, which there's two, and basically they start originally like it was brothers that like had an independent bottling like years ago and everything. And they split off and became two different companies.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So that
was one of the Langs. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, but no, I think that's what the biggest shocker to me. There were some very expensive scotches in that tasting. The one that was my favorite ended up being $60. That's why I bought two because I was like, holy crap, I can't pass this up for that price. Okay, well, I got again, it's hard to judge the first one because you have nothing to compare it to. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to B.
Let's go to B.
Ooh, almost spilled it, but we're good. I was using a challenge coin that was almost too small, so it's like I had to like really, really closely grab it. All right, so B.
I can't remember if I told you. Make sure that you have like some leftover by the end of this as well.
You didn't, but okay. It's they're in the glasses, but as long as I can revisit tonight, then we're good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So B is the one that I said was the darkest of the lineup. Now again, with Scotch, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Color can be added.
Yeah.
Now, not to say that this is, but I'm just saying like color doesn't mean as much as it does with bourbon.
No, definitely not.
Oh, okay. Snows, I think, is a little bit more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I almost want to say dusty.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Like it's a little bit dusty, earthy.
Like from 1983? I don't know. I smell the 80s. I'm just kidding. No, but it does. It actually, earthy, but not in. I've had some earthy that I think is a little off-putting. This isn't off-putting on the nose. Mm-hmm. It's just it's like a subtle earthiness to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to try it. I breathed in. Should not have done that. It still drinks lower proof. I think it's way less fruity. It's a lot more, like you said, earthy, a lot more. No, I wouldn't say grainy. Grainy's not the word. It's hard for me to describe certain Scotch tasting notes because I'm so unfamiliar with like really diving into it deep. But really, I mean, I gotta have a second sip. What are you getting on this glass?
The first thing that jumps out to me like immediately on the palate is honeydew, like honeydew melon.
Okay.
So like kind of like a rich like melon note to it that I really enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more subtle. I think it's not like proof wise. Like like no offense to A, but A drank like there was a lot of water added to it. This doesn't. This drinks like it's at an appropriate proof that I think it's intentionally bottled at this proof. Not to say that A is not, but I'm just saying B, it tastes like it's like a really they dialed in like what proof this certain notes like shine in.
Yeah.
Whiskey Mouse doesn't smell like big hair and neon colors. That smell like the 80s. Does it smell like Teen Spirit? Okay.
This one, the finish also lasts a lot longer.
I think so too. Yeah.
Has a little bit of like ashiness on the finish.
I need to actually. I'm going to pull it since I did pour it all. I'm going to go ahead and just pull up something so I can keep track of my order, just so I can refer back to that. So I don't have to keep tasting them over and over again to find out what I think is my favorite. Because I would be able to revisit them once we know what they are. Because we're going to go through like what each bottle is at the end. Which, by the way, if you're watching the replay, first of all, #replay squad. But also, I will put in the description. I'll put a time code where I will get to the results. I may even put like a key at the bottom. So if you want to see that, obviously, if you're watching it live, you're not going to see that. But if you want to see it in the replay, just look in the description. I'll put the info just in case you don't want to watch for the full hour to get to the results. Although I appreciate you watching and hitting the like button while you're watching. But all right, well, I like B. I will say, first impression, I think I like B over A. But we're gonna keep tasting through these. So I'm ready to move on to C.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think this one's actually the lightest. This one's really
this is
light.
definitely the palest of the bunch.
Now, and when you sent me that photo we were talking about a bit earlier, you intentionally hid what casks it was aged in because you felt like that may be a little bit.
That might lead you, because not all of these are in the same type of cask. Some of these are a mixture of casks. So yeah, I don't want to,
Yeah, no, I got you. I appreciate it.
As blind as possible.
Yeah. Okay. So C is reminded. First of all, none of these taste like Islays. I'm so confused. They're so like. Well, it's just because the peat is so subtle. It's such a light. It's not like the blow your face out like with Ardbeg or something. At least on the first two. I've only tried 2 of them so far. I'm gonna go back to the nose on A because this one reminds me of A.
I mean, you did start with a pretty like heavily peated whiskey as well. So like,
yeah, that might
have thrown your palate a little bit. Like,
I was trying to be clever with it being Port Ellen. That may not have worked in my favor. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't pick the caster. I picked the lower proof ones. So.
Yeah.
C reminds me of A on the nose. It's a little more peaty though. Like the peat element shines through the nose a bit more.
Yeah, a little bit of vanilla on the nose.
Yeah, this almost like it's like a bourbon cask kind of situation. All right, let's try it. Cheers.
Cheers.
So when it first hit my palate, I was gonna say it was reminding me of A, where I felt like it was watered down. I know, but I will say it carried through. It kind of picked up. It had a bit more of like a buttery kind of. The mouthfeel is really nice. I think it's really oily. I think that's kind of what saved it from making me have that same impression on this one.
This also definitely has the biggest peat punch, I feel like, out of the 3 for me.
I think so too.
Like
it's still fruity like A. It has like still some of those tropical fruits to me, but I think the peat is still shining. Now this tastes familiar. Do I want to guess what it is? Probably not. I would probably just guess Kalila. Just a guess, first wild guess. First, people joining us here tonight. What's up, Whiskey Nose? Good to see you. And then Crafty God says, I really enjoy Islay whiskey, so this is really awesome blind flight to watch. Well, glad you appreciate it. I like Islay whiskey too, believe it or not. A lot of people just assume as like a bourbon channel, like, oh, he doesn't like Islay whiskey. No, I've really freaking love Islay whiskey.
You've really expanded your palate also like over the past year, I feel like.
Yeah, thanks to you. So if you missed it, so I've had Aaron on a couple times. One time, like you said, we did the Islay Trail. So we went all around Islay. We tried a bunch of different distilleries. And we tried to find my favorite. I don't remember exactly what one. I know it was a surprise because I thought I would like Ardbeg best, but I think that
was your favorite.
Most likely, probably. Yeah, I still love Ardbeg. I mean, I think every expression of Ardbeg I've had is just been really great. But I think that Octomore it blew my mind. So like that was my favorite up to that point.
Octomore has that quality. Yeah.
I will say none of these have been Octomore. Well, now Octomore does like a lighter peat, don't they? They have a different release. It's like lighter, right?
I mean, all their stuff is
Okay, never mind.
80 ppm plus, which everything here is in like the 40 to 50 ppm.
I was gonna say I was gonna say none of these are Octomore, but I didn't want to like misspeak and like, oh well, actually, there's an Octomore that's like lightly peated.
Everything here is older. Octomore, I mean, most of them are like around 5 years old. So like the whole thing with Octomore is that it's young, super heavily peated, just really like punch you in the face, and that's also cast strength as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I like it. I love it.
Yeah. Oh no, I love it as well.
C, I still think doesn't quite do it for me. I think it tastes. I still like it more than A, but I think B right now is still my leader. So I'm gonna make a note of that.
All right.
I'm gonna revisit all these again, of course, but I'm just tasting them first. First impressions. All right, let's move on to D. Ooh, I like this. On the nose alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think this might be my favorite. it tastes the most. It smells the most complex. It does have a little bit of those like vintage kind of notes. Those things that make me think it's like a dusty whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's got a little bit of a.
It's got a sweet note.
Yeah, I would almost say like a. It reminds me of like some of the sherry matured scotches I've had. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I mean, it's not like that vanilla sweetness. It's still more of like a. This I would say it's fruity, but in more of a traditional, like it's like a darker fruit kind of way.
Yeah, it's not like super dark. It doesn't smell like it's like first fill sherry cask or anything like that.
Oh no, yeah, it's a subtle. It's a subtle.
Yeah,
note.
it's kind of getting like those like caramely notes.
Alex says I made a Lefroy quarter cask Bloody Mary tonight. It was nice. Holy crap!
Wow.
I have never had. You know what? I've had a bourbon Bloody Mary. I had it when I was in Kentucky, but I've never had a Scotch Bloody Mary. That's interesting.
Especially like a peated Scotch.
Exactly. Like it's got to be smoked. I mean, if you maybe put some bacon in there, you got to add some of those like smoked meats and stuff too. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try. Go ahead and try D. It's got a nice like smokiness. I think less peat and more smoke to me.
Kind of like caramel apple is like the first thing that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, to me, the smoke is what's sticking with me. It's almost like being at I know we were just talking about smoked meats, but it's almost like being at a county fair and they're like smoking some like sausages or whatever like nearby. Like I'm getting some of that kind of elements. Still, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say still subtle compared to like I guess you know what, the honest truth probably is like most peated Scotch I've ever bought has been cast strength. So I think it's weird to me to try peated stuff that's not cast strength.
The other thing too is with peated whiskeys, the older that they get, that's the reason why like Octomores, they're so young, is because that's like when the peat's like most like vibrant, like hits you hard.
Right, and that's Wee Beastie as well. People said like that's super peaty because it's so young.
Exactly, and so like the older peated whiskeys, the peat kind of like becomes a little bit more subtle, just kind of integrates more with the spirit and with the cask and all that. It's not quite as hit you in the face. It becomes a different type of peat in a way.
Yeah, I will say so. First impressions again, that's pretty close. First and second place, B and D, I think so far. Those have been my top hitters so far. But we still got an
interesting finish too. It's a little like woody on the finish.
Yeah, I really like that. I'm excited to revisit it once I go back through them and see like if I actually pick it as my favorite. All right, let's go to E, which is the final one, other than our bonus one. Which, by the way, tell me when we need to do the bonus.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Now this is a lot more traditional peat on the nose on E. It's earthy, but it's like grassy earthy. Like it's not just the dirt; it's like the grass as well. That smells really familiar. Well, question for the people in the chat: like, what is your favorite Islay distillery? I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Like I said, Ardbeg is typically mine, but Octomore, it blows my mind every time.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Aaron? What's your favorite?
I mean, Bercolotti, which they make Octomore and Port Charlotte. That I definitely have the most releases from them. I can't get enough of their stuff. But Ardbeg is huge favorite of mine. I like some of their recent releases get a little gimmicky, but I mean the Ugadel and the Corvrecken and like some of their other, although the what was the one that just came out, the Scorch, that thing is phenomenal.
I was gonna ask you because like so you finally got that one, right?
I got my second bottle and opened one up, and so
I was gonna say I freaking love that one. I plan to do a full review of it. I haven't gotten a chance to do it. By the way, just quick side note while I'm thinking of it, I'm not actually going to be live next week. For those of you watching, I'm going to be out of town. I'll be traveling. So next Thursday and Saturday, I will not be live, but a very special stream coming up the following Thursday. So just wanted to put that out there in case you're curious why I'm not there. Anyway, sorry. Go back. Whatever you're saying.
Oh, just the Scorch is fantastic.
Oh,
but yeah, no, some of the special releases are really interesting, especially like the sherried ones. I feel like just peat and sherry like mixed together just are a beautiful combination.
I agree 100%. Yeah.
But like really like there's an Islay distillery that I actually like dislike. Bunnahabhain is mostly unpeated and they do incredible things as well.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, like I don't think there's a bad Islay distillery.
So a couple people in the chat. Nurse Dave says Lagavulin is my favorite. Opening their Guinness cask. I need
to try that one.
Yeah, Dave, please let us know how that is because I've been seeking that one out. I really want to try. I've heard really good things, especially if you like Guinness. I do like a good dark beer, so I think I would probably really enjoy that one. Sugar Kitty says Ardbeg and Lefroy. Yeah, I think Lefroy I'm kind of hit or miss on. I don't particularly always love Lefroy, but some of their releases are really good. Like that quarter cask is really good. And the what is the one that was like wine and is that the quarter cask? It was
the last year's Carchis.
Yes,
which is their Fischio release.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then Donnie just lists all of them. He's like Ardbeg, Raglotic, Lagavulin, Lefroy, and Kalila. Well, there you go. Donnie likes them all. And our friend Swan says, I really like a lot of non-Islay whiskey, things finished in heavily peated cask. Glenlivet Nadura? Heavily peated cask. Oh, finish. Oh, interesting. I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, so Swan, if you guys don't know, Swan is part of This Is My Bourbon podcast. Go check them out if you haven't. He's been really recently exploring Scotch, and he's been kind of little cheating on the bourbon world a bit because he's been really loving some amazing releases. So I need to send him out samples. Swan is going to be on the show hopefully here soon. So I'm going to send Swan a bunch of Scotches that I really like, and I'm hoping to see if he likes them too. So stay tuned for that. And Whiskey Mountains likes Ardbeg, yeah. So she's also new to exploring outside of bourbon. But her husband Nick, he really loves like Ardbeg Ugadal. That's like his favorite Scotch ever. So and she likes that one a lot too. So she's still definitely a bourbon girl, but she's working on
the dark side.
Yeah. All right. So I haven't actually tried E yet. So let's go ahead and try it. Cheers.
Let's do it. Cheers.
Ooh, spicy. It's spicy. I mean, like you said, these are in order of proof. I think that was the highest proof. It has some nice, but like spicy, not just in proof, but spicy in
like kind of a wood spice almost. Like,
it honestly, it's giving me a lot of bourbon notes, like some of the spicy, like spicier bourbons, and some of those like I guess baking spices people typically say.
Yeah.
But really, finish on that was awesome too. It's definitely lingering.
Going.
That spice I think actually helps that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, man. My first, second, and third is gonna be tough. I'm gonna go back through and confirm my thoughts, but before I do that, did you have because you didn't do this flight blind obviously, but tasting through this again tonight and then the first time you did it with our local group, did you have any surprises like either yourself or like people in the other group? Was something that caught you off guard that they said that you were like, wow, I didn't think people would think that, or I didn't think that this would taste like that?
There was, which I will. I can divulge once we reveal.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not good for me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Am I kind of, am I recalling any memories from that tasting? Am I saying some things that other people may have said?
Somewhat yes and somewhat no.
Okay.
Actually,
a lot of people in that group are mainly Scotch drinkers. So I'm approaching this from a cask strength bourbon drinkers world. So my opinion is maybe a little bit swayed. I really like E. So I'm going to go back through and taste them right now. My order, first impression order is first place, I think, is B, E, D, C, A. But I'm going to taste through them again just to confirm that. Starting with my last place and just see if I can still agree with that. Now, A was the one, I feel like I need to revisit A. I feel like I didn't give it a fair taste. I feel like I judged it way too harshly at the beginning. I was like, that tastes like watered down. What is this? The nose on A is really nice. That's the only thing is I love the nose on it.
Actually, the nose has opened up like a lot since.
I think so too. Yeah. And that's it's like I said, it's still that floral, delicate note, but there's like some tropical fruits in the nose on this one.
There's almost like a rubber, like I want to say rubbery note to it, like in the nose, but I don't know if that's necessarily right?
Well, that makes me think Lefroy. It's just I get that note a lot on Lefroy.
Not necessarily medicinal, but
That's a good point. Yeah, because that's a lot more like a sterile kind of like I would say burning hospital, which might be offensive. I don't know. Swan says this man is the master of not divulging information. You should totally work for a distillery that's like they don't disclose like where they source their stuff from. You would totally nail it.
That would drive me crazy because I would want to be
like all these channels would be like, so can you give us the mash bill? And you're like, nope, secret.
No, but I want to know all that stuff though too. So
yeah, good point.
I am going to tell you everything.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited to get to that stuff. I do think my first impressions of A were kind of swayed by the fact that one, I was drinking a very heavily peated whiskey first, even though it is lower proof. Still drinking a heavily peated one. I think returning to A has changed my opinion a bit.
Yeah,
I may move it up a step. I'm going to try my fourth place, which was C. I'm going to see if that one goes a bit above or behind A, because A, I think I like it a lot more now.
Okay.
And for some reason, I just drank D. So at least I kept track of it, though. I knew what I was doing. All right. I like D over A, so that's still. So let me try C, though. That's what I meant to do.
Yeah.
C is the one that I said had a really great mouthfeel on it, and I still really agree with that. I'm gonna plot twist. I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna leave A in last place, but I'm gonna change C and D. I think I like C over D.
Okay.
So right now my order is B, E, C, D, A. Let me try E. I don't want to linger on this too much. Like I could keep going back and forth and changing it all day.
Yeah. Go on.
I will say these are all really great. Now that I've kind of acclimated my palate to being what these all are, I'm really pulling out some really nuanced flavors that I didn't get the first time around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that definitely happens. This definitely could use some time. I definitely encourage you, like if you have stuff, samples left over at the end of this to, just kind of revisit them individually when you have the time.
My problem with that is I always never keep track of what's what. And I always like have them on my desk. I'm like, I have no idea. I have like
that's why you have this screen right now.
By the way, I like on my desk currently at the moment, I have a sample F from you that I have no idea what it is. So it's sitting over here. That's going for whenever I just like want to hang out on my after party tonight and be like, I want a pour of something. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be good because it's from Aaron.
Give me the tasting notes and I can try and figure it out.
maybe. Okay. And I think E just kind of moved down past C because I think I like C a bit more than E. So let me go to my current first place, and then I'm gonna taste them one more time, get my final thoughts, and then we're gonna reveal what each of these are.
Yeah.
B is so interesting on the. Maybe I'm influenced by the color. I don't know. Maybe I should have got those like those Glencairns that are like dark that you can't see the color of the whiskey in them. Man, going back in reverse order is very confusing. So I'm like, I thought I liked that best, but the thing I tried before that was even better.
You get a lot more like toffee on the nose from B. No.
Yeah, B and C are currently my first and second place. I'm trying to decide which one's my favorite. Man, I need a water reset.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful for this. Yeah.
Yeah, because those two, they're very different, but they both have some really great things going for them. B, I think, is like more of the flavor profile I typically seek out. It's a lot more, like you said, toffee, kind of that like, I almost want to say like I guess it's kind of the same category as toffee. Like it's like toffee nut, but I guess it's basically the same. It's like there's a nuttiness to B, I think. So I'm gonna see. Final thoughts.
Surprises, Jim Beam.
I think I got my order.
Okay.
All right. Now I guess I should try to guess which one's which.
Yeah. Do you have any guess of which one might be the Port Ellen?
There was one I said early on that I had like a vintage note on. I don't remember which one I said that about. I feel like it may have been B, honestly. Now, Oscar, I think you did hide the cask finish, which makes me think maybe it's a sherry cask that makes me think it's darker. I mean, look at me trying to like solve this. That's my like. I don't know if you know, but I was doing a competition called Matt Madness over on ADHD Whiskey's channel.
I saw that. Which, by the way, good job on that.
Thank you. I moved on to the next round, so like I'm still in that mindset of like deductive reasoning. Like I'm literally like analyzing everything he's reviewing on his channel. I'm like, okay, keep that in mind. He's giving us these notes. I'm going to look for those notes, and I'm going to try to find if it's that whiskey. So that's why I'm being a little judgmental, and it's only because I'm in that mindset still.
Yeah.
Man, B is delicious. I mean, if it is the Port Ellen, I'd be happy because I think it tastes amazing. My guess is B. That's my final guess. So my final order is B, C, E, D, A. So let's start with the last place reveal first, right? Yeah.
All right, so A is actually Kulila. It's a Kulila 18-year-old. Which,
oh wait, I said one was Kalia, but I don't think it was A. I don't
think
think
it wasn't this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a different one. But yeah, this is the Kulila 18-year-old. This one's 43%. So you were close. Yeah, this is definitely one of the lower ABVs.
Let's see if I can make it. Oh, your camera for me, your camera quality's kind of crapped out, but it could just be me. So if you guys can see that better than I can.
But yeah, this is. I mean, it's pretty available here, or somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of hard to find, like Kulila, like beyond like the 12-year-old, but it does pop up here. It's. I originally was going to put in the Kulila 25, but I had a sample of that, and I found like the kind of flat throughout.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so like I was kind of thinking like maybe the 18-year-old might be a little bit more vibrant, which it's also kind of has some nice notes in it, but it's a little. There's not really a ton going on for it.
Yeah. So with the first taste, I keep referring back to. So I don't know if I explained this fully, but you did this tasting for our local group last Friday.
Yes.
Which was a large group. What was the turnout for that? It was pretty. I mean, this was virtual, by the way.
It was
like
people who weren't able to make it, but there were 18 people. Yeah.
So was there an overwhelming like last place for them, or was it kind of mixed across the board?
A was the last place as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Maybe I'm not alone. All right. So my fourth place. So Swan Post. I think Swan. You have a couple of those swapped. So my fourth place was D.
Fourth place was D. Okay.
Yes. And D was the. Hold on. Wait. Let me taste it real quick. I think it had a similar lightness to A that I feel like I wanted more from it. It has like a bit of an apricot now that I go back to it. Please don't tell me this is the Port Ellen. Go ahead and reveal it.
So D actually, I think like just over 50% of the people in that picked it as first place, and it was the Port Ellen.
Oh no! You know what? As soon as I got that apricot kind of note, I'm like, that usually is what I get from a vintage type of like scotch. I'm like, oh no, it is.
So I mean, that's good for you since this is the least attainable out of any of these.
Okay, well now that we've revealed it, what is the proof on that one?
This is 46%. So 92 proof. Yeah.
That was D, correct? I'm going to set it aside because I want to revisit it at the very end. Just to.
I will say, I think this is definitely, any of these in a blind flight, when you're comparing them next to each other, like it definitely it's eye opening. But I think that might not get some of the subtleties. I definitely found this to be pretty layered, which I thought was pretty unique. This was my favorite of the bunch as well.
Really? Well, you said most people picked it first place. I think my palate is a bit different than a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, or like typical. Because like I said, all the scotch I always buy is cask strength, so I have a different perception or perspective than a lot of people do with it. And it's not a better perspective; it's a worse perspective.
Everybody's different. Like that's the great thing about whiskey is everybody brings something different to the table, and like the conversation of it is really interesting.
Yeah. People are asking my order. Okay, my order was B, C, E, D, A. So we're about to reveal E, which was my third place. So what was E for us?
So E was another pricey one as well.
No. Okay, but someone commented earlier saying like the real winning tonight is getting the cheap stuff in first place.
Yeah. So E. Wait, you said E, right?
Yes, E.
Okay, so E is actually Lefroy, 25-year-old.
Wow.
This is the 2017 release. This is actually cask strength at 49.8%.
Dang. Okay, this was the highest proof. Well, I did say this was the highest proof. Did I say Lefroy on this one? I feel
You said cool. I think you said Coolila.
This is the one I said was Kalila. Maybe. Oh yeah. I think
I think
you're
you said Coolila. You were like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure this. Yeah, I know this one, and yeah, it's Coolila.
right. Obviously, I don't know any of them.
But no, I mean, this is definitely. I'd say this is very different from the Lefroy 10-year-old, which you don't really get like so much of the medicinal quality from this. I
really like that, and I did say when I was tasting through these, my top 3 are really close. My top 3, I really like that one. Revisiting it, it's really, that was the one that it also, in addition to the one I said earlier, I think I said C had the best mouthfeel. I think that one also, the reason it had like such an oiliness to it, I think that bumps it up higher than it could have been.
Well, also this, you were talking about a lot of those bourbon notes and everything. This is entirely in bourbon cask. So like, you get like all those vanillas, this, spice and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, Emily says, seeing how your Scotch and overall palate has improved since your first Scotch flight I did in August with Don Nishida is really fun. Yeah, appreciate that, Emily. Yeah, I think I've definitely tried a bit more, but I think I've been really diving into it lately because I've tried so many great things from these virtual tastings you've been doing, Aaron. So thank you again.
Oh, my pleasure.
So that was awesome. I did really like that. My top 3 are really close. So my second place was C. So what was C? I like C a lot.
C is actually not a bad one to have in second place because that's just the Ardbeg 10.
Are you serious? Oh my God. Well, what's the proof on that one?
46%.
46. Okay. Yeah. Well, but I'm an Ardbeg lover, so that probably played some influence into that.
That's the fun thing about this is seeing like something like Port Ellen, which goes for thousands of dollars, that can hold up next to a $40 Ardbeg 10.
Now that I taste that, I'm like, oh, that's Ardbeg and it's delicious. It's so good. It's so good.
Well, which, by the way, there were a couple people in the virtual tasting last week that actually put this in first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was my second place, so yeah, I'm not too far off.
Yeah, this is not a bad one to have in your second place.
Well, before we reveal first place, I do want to give a couple shout outs to people joining us just now. For the end, I saw Lil come in all the way from Australia. Lil, welcome. I see Eric Wait, Whiskey Studies. Go check out his channel. He does some really great stuff. He's way better at Scotch than I am, so go check him out for sure. I also see Perry Ritter from This Is My Bourbon podcast. He made it. How's everyone doing? We're doing good. And I like how Adriana responded, having fun watching Clifton get smoked. Yeah, I'm not doing too great. And thank you, Adriana. So far, C is Ardbeg 10, E is Lefroy 25 cast strength, D is Port Ellen 25 year, A is Kalila 18 years. So, All right. Well, now I'm very, very curious about my first place. Now,
but before we reveal first place,
okay,
I want you to taste the bonus dram and compare it to B.
To my first place.
Yeah.
All right. Bonus dram. Now, this one's dark. This one's dark. So. Which also B was the darkest one. So, all right, bonus dram is poured. I gotta give it a fair chance. Gotta let it open up a bit. But yeah, like while we're waiting, I guess I want to say thank y'all everyone that tuned in so far. I know these Saturday streams are one, hard to make because people are out doing things, and two, it's Scotch. I know a lot of you guys are bourbon fans, but I appreciate you being willing to open your mind like I am and learn so many things. So thank you all for sticking around. If you haven't subscribed, if you're new here, I would love if you could subscribe down below and hit that like button before we wrap up here. That really does help the Yugu. I guess that works because YouTube and Google. The YouTube algorithm.
Yugu, I love that.
Yeah, Yugu. Okay, so that's enough time to open up, I guess. Sure, right. Why not?
Sure, why not?
Ooh, I like this a lot on the nose. And only because I feel like I'm
the bonus dram or B?
Bonus dram. I'm getting some of those notes that I get on a good, like, I always want to say finish, but finish isn't the appropriate word. Wine cask matured, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'd say compare this directly to B.
To the B? Okay. Oh, wow. B got a little more like, B to me now smells like if you leave toast in the oven a little bit too long. Kind of like a burnt toast note. I don't know why I'm getting that. I don't know why I'm getting that.
Like honey now on B.
Okay. Burnt toast spread with honey.
Ooh, that sounds good actually.
That does,
maybe like not burnt toast, but like toasty toast.
And again, with burnt toast, I don't necessarily mean like it's a bad thing. Because sometimes burnt toast, sometimes you crave that. Mm-hmm. I think they smell very different. I think the bonus and the B smell different. Well, man. So I thought that going from bonus to B, but going back from B to bonus, I'm like, oh wait, there's some similarities here. Is this why you made me wait? Is there a reason? Are these similar?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Okay, let me go ahead and try. Let me go ahead and try the bonus jam. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wait, why is everyone saying I'm having a stroke? Did I say pre-burnt toast? My bad. I don't remember saying that, but I guess maybe I did.
I mean, maybe I said something like that.
B, I feel like falls a little flat compared. Well, sorry, B. Man, this is hard because B and bonus, that throws me off. Okay, hold on.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Man, I'm not the best person for this because I just like really big, bold flavors, and I think the bonus jam is giving me those bold flavors. Not gonna lie, I think bonus is my favorite overall.
Really?
Oh no, never mind. That's
Please, I love this. This is just interesting because.
Well, are you gonna reveal the bonus first or the B first?
I'll reveal
B first, since that was my favorite. Now it's not my favorite anymore.
Okay,
never mind. Don't.
Well, here, I'll reveal the bonus, but
okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So the bonus is current Lagavulin 16-year-old.
But I love Lagavulin 16. That's like
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, the bonus is also
wait.
What?
Wait. Oh wait. Whoa. My mind. Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Finish.
There's also Lagavulin 16. However, there's a little thing down here that says White Horse Distillers Limited, which implies that this is before Diageo bought Lagavulin. So this is from the 90s roughly. This was bottled in the 90s. It's actually probably distilled around the same time as the Port Ellen, but this is Lagavulin 16 from the 90s.
Wait, I'm sorry. So is this the bonus or is this B?
This is B.
This is B. Okay.
The bonus is the current Lagavulin 16.
Got it. Okay. Well, like I said, at first I thought they were very different, but when I went from B to the bonus, I'm like, these are really similar. Like, okay, so you said it's a different distillery though. The different person.
No, it's the same distillery. It's the same.
Okay.
Just basically different owners. So like, yeah, this is another one that I've heard a lot of really like crazy things about, like how drastically different Lagavulin, the White Horse version of Lagavulin was at the time, and just how drastically better it was then compared to now. There's a little. I mean, I definitely getting like from the palate like that. There's definitely a lot more sherry influence in the White Horse version versus.
Yeah, I'm actually about to pour the rest of my B because I do want to do. That's a really interesting thing. I want to do side by side between these two.
Yeah.
I almost finished my B. I'm glad I didn't. Because this is really cool. Like bottle wise, they look so similar. They haven't changed their look at all.
There are like a few like things that you can tell. I mean, anything pre-90s, the other like versions of the White Horse, it's not embossed. It's kind of like gold lettering on the sides of the date and all that. The couple differences. There's a royal warrant up here, which I'm not exactly sure why they like when they dropped that. Like the reason why that was dropped. There's also
still, I mean, okay.
It says it's a little bit lighter, the label as well. This is kind of like more of like a darker cream.
Well, the funny thing is, like, you're treating this like, oh, there's a lot of differences, but I guess I'm just thinking in the bourbon world they change labels so freaking often. So to me, those look so similar, like for freaking like 20 years difference, like.
Yeah. But well, I mean, it's still relatively the same thing. I'm just saying that's how you can tell the difference between the two. And then it says White Horse on it rather than Diageo.
Gotcha. Eric Bay says, cool, both are Lagavulins. I'm curious about the Lagavulin 11 Guinness Cask. Yeah, we talked about that a bit earlier. I'm really excited. Have you seen that, Aaron? I haven't seen it yet.
I know Mission has it right now.
Oh, but they're charging like what, like 90 or 80?
I think it's $90, which I think that's kind of like the standard price. Like 80, 90 is the.
But the reason I bought the last Offerman was because K&L had it on sale for like cheaper than it normally is.
Well, that was initially released at like $120, which was crazy because it was like the same price as the Lagavulin 12-year-old at the time.
Right, yeah.
But the I think they dropped down to like around $70. I think that's what I bought it at K&L for. So
Okay, and
It's
this was
silly,
9, and this was 90. So okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pick it up no matter what, anyways. But
yeah,
so
Um,
Lagavulin. So I always say that Ardbeg is my favorite, but I always forget Lagavulin, and the reason I forget it is because the 16 was one of the first. Honestly, one of the first Islay scotches I've had. I had a set that had like Kalila, Lagavulin 16, and Talisker 10. And the Lagavulin 16 just blew everything away. It was like my favorite thing ever. And I never bought a bottle because that was right around the time that the price increased. Because didn't it have a pretty drastic increase recently?
it had a bit. Although I think it's kind of come back down a little bit. It's just I don't know if it's as a result of the tariffs being lifted.
Yeah.
I think this one I picked up for the tasting around like $70. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's not terrible.
Well, 70, wait. So the Lagavulin 16 is potentially around $70, and the new 11-year Offerman is $90. You know what? I'm just gonna go grab the 16. I'm like, I really want to review the Offerman one, but like that 16 is honestly, I'm glad that came in first place. I mean, no, I'm not glad. I wish the Port Ellen would have came in first place, but I'm happy for myself because
it's good that the current release beat out the White Horse, because this I think I got for about like 350 or so.
Gotcha. Let me do a little comparison now that I know what they are.
Yeah. So the White Horse also actually, that was about like 40% of the tasting last week picked that as their favorite.
Really? Okay. Well, that was my favorite. Okay.
What?
No, it wasn't my favorite. It was my favorite of the official flight.
The official
bonus
flight.
Beat it out. Yeah.
Well, it clearly beat, like everybody said that it beat out the current Lagavulin, actually.
Except me. Okay, well, I have a chance to redeem myself. I have them both poured.
Oh no, I mean, again, the fact that you have that you prefer that, like there's nothing wrong with that at all. And they're different profiles for sure.
So I'm trying the current one now. To me, Lagavulin, the reason that it stood out so much for me throughout, like I said, one of the first scotches I tried, the reason it still sticks out is it has a certain like brininess that I think is harder to find than I thought it would be. Like, I think the Talisker has the brininess. There's like a certain sea salt air. And the reason I'm thinking of this is I have like a very specific like childhood memory that involves that note. It wasn't to do with whiskey, don't worry. But something about that Lagavulin 16 always brings back that memory. So that's why I think that stood out, because I got that note. I'm like, I'm just drawn to that note so much. But let me try the you said White Horse, right?
Yeah.
B was the one. Now, if y'all watch the replay, you could correct me on this, but I believe B was the one that I said smelled vintage. It smelled like a 1980s. Now, it's not quite that old.
You actually said that the Port Ellen smelled vintage to you.
Did I? Okay, but I know. But B was the first one that I said that about.
Maybe you did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I know I said it twice. So like, I think it was B and the Port Ellen one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's very different. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things about Lagavulin, like, the Diageo current release versus the White Horse. Because I remember when I went to the distillery a couple years ago, because I always had the preconception that that the Lagavulin 16 was had like a good amount of sherry in it, and they told me actually there that it actually has, because the sherry casks are so expensive. It only has like a small percentage of sherry influence in it. It's mostly bourbon cask. And while the older White Horse, definitely the sherry is coming through. I feel like that's a lot stronger on that. And it has like a little bit more of a musty note to it.
So when it comes to flavor that I prefer, I still prefer the current release. However, going back to mouthfeel, because I feel that's an important aspect of it, I think that the older one is a lot more oily.
Yeah.
It's thicker for sure. Maybe it's from the sherry casks.
Yeah.
Presentation wise, I think that does beat it out. I just know that I told you there's that certain note that I'm drawn to. So that's the reason I picked the bonus over it. But I think as a more complex whiskey, like you said, you paid $300-ish for the old release of it. That drink's like a more complex and a more interesting whiskey. It's just it doesn't have that briny sea salt air that I love about the current release.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Whiskey Mountain makes a good point. She says, you're not wrong. You're just having different preference. Taste buds and preferences aren't wrong, just yours. Yes. But exactly. I also feel like less experienced too. So
no, I mean, again, like everybody's different. Everybody has, finds different notes and different things. Like, you're definitely like, like you said, like you're more of a bourbon drinker,
Mhm.
who's dabbling in Scotch.
Right.
So like a lot of the things, I feel like that the Lefroy 25, for instance, like you're getting like a lot more of those bourbon notes that are kind of like drawing you to that.
Mhm. That was E, right?
Yeah, and so
Okay.
like the thing is that the Ardbeg 10, which I believe is all bourbon cask, like you're kind of like going more for those type of notes.
Mm-hmm. Liberty not licensed says I'm an hour late. Which one tastes like sardines? Well, to me, I would guess the bonus strams taste like sardines, but I I like sardines occasionally, so maybe I'm weird. Well, awesome, Aaron. This was such a great tasting. Thank you so much again for putting this on.
Oh yeah.
I look forward to, like I said, this is like the last one. Hopefully, in person, we'll do some soon. But I thank you again for saying this. This is so much fun. I want to shout out your Instagram, but you're private. Do you have anything to shout out? Like, I mean, first of all, he makes amazing trailers. If y'all watch that trailer at the beginning, if y'all want to hire him to make your movie trailer, please reach out to him because that's like what he does.
My website's aaron-blum.com. Check out my reel there, I guess. Yeah, I cut trailers professionally, so
Obviously, like that trailer. So there is someone that was. Oh, wait, now that we're mentioning this, someone mentioned to me after they watched the trailer because I previewed it on my stream on Thursday. There's someone featured in the trailer. I think it's a woman. Do you know?
Yeah. So that was like an interesting clip that I found. Basically, she's actually. I don't want to get her name wrong, but was one of the first.
Yeah. So the reason I ask is because someone said they loved the trailer and they loved the inclusion of her. I forget the name. I wish I could find it.
Sorry, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but she is essentially like one of the first like female distillers on Islay. She actually was the head distiller at Lefroy in the 60s.
Gotcha. If anyone in the chat knows, like, let us know. If not, I'll leave a comment down below to find her name. But yeah, because I remember
it's like Bessie.
Bessie.
Yeah, I
Bessie
can't remember her last name.
Okay. Yeah. So anyways, but I forget who it was. I think it may have been Steve A. He said that like I really appreciated seeing her inclusion because she is such an icon. So
yeah, she definitely is. Yeah, and it's just kind of fun to fun clip of talking about how Islay whiskey isn't necessarily for everybody, but some people enjoy it.
Yeah, so that was actually Donald Rance that said that. So Donald, I'll get with Donald. We'll find out her name and I'll put it in the comments down below for anyone watching the replay afterwards. Yeah. So, but yeah, thank you so much, Aaron. This was so much fun, and hope to see you again soon for another. Honestly, anytime I have Scotch, I'm going to ask you to be on if you want to.
Because I'm happy to. Yeah, I love doing these streams with you.
Awesome, man. Well, cheers, and until next time, I will see you guys. Like I said, next week I'm going to be out of town. But I will be back on June 3rd. I will be on with the Black Bourbon Society the Thursday after next.
Bessie Williamson. Sorry. Yeah.
Bessie Williamson. There we go. There we go. Got it. We got it in the chat. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sugar Kitty, for that, by the way. All right, Aaron. Thank you so much. Like I said, we're doing our after party hangout. You're welcome to come, Aaron. And then everyone else, I'll see you over on Discord here soon. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
I'll cheers you with the Port Ellen.
Cheers.